There is a great big rush to spend a whole wad full of money. No big rush, though, to see exactly how that money is being spent. Like the more than $533 million that went to Solyndra to help build a $700 million state-of-the-art plant the size of 5 football fields, complete with robots whistling Disney tunes. These things did amaze me. Then you had the spa-like showers with liquid crystal displays of water temperatures, 4 electric car charging stations, a wild grass and rock garden. What is a wild grass and rock garden? Anyway, Wisconsin Republican Senator Ron Johnson says, when you're in a rush, this is the kind of stuff that happens. But boy, Senator, this is like a 24-hour marathon going on.
Well, Neil, yeah, that's pretty unfortunate. This is the wrong way to try and spend taxpayers' money, and we just ought to let these programs expire and return that money to the taxpayer.
What would happen? In other words, Senator, is it true that in the case of these Energy Department grants or monies that have been set aside, it's like back to nothing if they don't spend it now?
Well, let's hope so. Unfortunately, Neil, there's a pretty good article that ran in the Wall Street Journal about these energy projects, and the Nevada solar project right now, that would spend $1.1 billion and create 45 permanent jobs at a cost of $25 million per job. That's on the high end of what these green energy jobs cost. Generally, they're somewhere between $250 and $750 per job. We simply can't continue to subsidize this type of uneconomic activity.
All right, now they say on that, by the way, the $25 million per job, that that's not a fair comparison, that they're talking about a facility and not a per job figure. Be that as it may, Senator, I guess what I'm asking is, what are the rules on this? In other words, if the clock is ticking, you have to spend it by the end of the month, or the end of the fiscal year, whatever, then where does that money go if it is not spent? Is it returned to the taxpayer, or is it set aside as a future credit line? What?
Well, we currently have billions of dollars of unspent previous budgetary authority that's just sitting there waiting to be spent for some particular project. It would probably be going to that category. But again, there have been numerous attempts to just basically take that money and return that to the taxpayer and not allow that budgetary authority to go on. And that's really what should happen to it. I mean, it's not spent. It shouldn't be spent.
Now, I was trying to take a look out of the corner of my eyes. I was talking to you before I talked to you about Solyndra and these singing robots. Do we have sound of that, guys? What was singing? Do we know? I mean, the robots were singing? It wasn't the shower head. Okay, I was just going to say, because that, bottom line, that is just part of the problem for you, right? All kidding aside, when this is what we get for the money, we're not getting much for the money.
No, we don't. And let's face it, I mean, let's take a look at Solyndra as an example. I mean, this is a $500 million photo op, basically, is what we had here. I mean, 2 months before they approved that loan, Price Waterhouse basically issued a qualified opinion and said this was not a going concern because the product they were producing cost $6 to produce. They were selling it for $3 when their competitors were selling it for $1.50 to $2 per unit. It's simply not going to succeed in the free market system. It should have been obvious to everybody. But the administration wanted to have a photo op with Vice President Biden and tried out this green energy program, and the taxpayers got put on the hook for $535 million. That is absurd.
Senator, thank you very, very much.